Hello, everybody. It's Sifuentez again, the Ice Whisperer. This week, I'm actually not going to talk about anything controversial regarding like immigration-related matters or anything involving ICE. And this is out of respect to Charlie Kirk's family. I know they're going through a lot these days, and I don't think this is an ideal time to talk about anything controversial and anything associated to politics. Instead, I'm going to go ahead and shift my attention actually to the elephant in the room, which is violent acts being committed here in the United States, really over the last decade, even longer than that. But before doing that, I want you just to take a brief moment, relax, close your eyes, and I'm going to ask you a quick question, and I want you to be sincere. I'm sure in your mind you're going to be sincere when I ask you this. When you think of evil or an evil act committed, what is the first image that goes through your mind? Now, if I would ask you the same question dating back to, say, 2001, 2002, after 9/11 attack, I'm sure the first thing that would go through your mind is like Bin Laden or or somebody from the Middle East. That would probably be the figure that goes through your mind. But we know that's changed quite a bit. So now I want you to open your eyes and allow me to elaborate on what I'm talking about. Uh, Dating back to the Obama administration, and once again, I'm not politically biased, but like I said, I'm here, I'm going to tell you the truth and what goes through my mind, and talking to other folks, actually, what goes through them. The violent acts that are being committed, it's really just so different from the type of acts that occurred before 9/11, and honestly, even after 9/11. This is something that's really just started and has evolved over time. And it really started with, when you think about it, the Obama administration. I was a fan and still am a fan of former President Obama. However, though, how he handled those violent acts during the Black Lives Matter movement, really, he never really went to the podium and said anything to where at least we would understand that he didn't really condone those violent acts that were being committed against law enforcement officers. Since then, these violent acts have really just taken off. The Biden administration obviously didn't do much about it. And now here we are with the Trump administration. And it's really taken off since then. And it isn't just the left wing committing these violent acts. It's the right wing as well. It's the far rights and the far left that are committing these acts. And the presidents, for the most part, really haven't done anything about it. Although they could go on to the podium and say, hey, I do not condone these acts and this needs to stop. They've actually chosen not to go in that direction. If you're paying attention, you know what I'm telling you right now is true. I'm hoping that's something that will change in the future, but God only knows what's going to happen. But in the interim, uh, we'll continue to have all these poor innocent victims, uh, people that are involved in politics, people that are advocating for a certain change or cause or anything like that. And then you factor in the violent acts that are now being committed on a regular basis at churches, at schools, shopping centers. There's really no safe place to be anymore. And that's sad. And what's even sadder is that before we were all concerned about these international terrorist groups coming here and committing harm to us. And if you're being honest with yourself, I'm honest right now and telling you this. I'm not overly concerned about these terrorist acts anymore being committed by international terrorist groups. I'm more concerned with my fellow American coming out with an assault rifle while I'm there shopping with my family, like what occurred in El Paso, Texas, not long ago in 2019, when you had a guy that traveled all the way to El Paso from the Dallas area to kill 22 Mexican nationals just because they were Mexicans. And then you factor in the politicians that have been murdered here recently. Then you factor in now what recently occurred to Mr. Charlie Kirk. I mean, you know what I'm telling you is true. This really needs to stop. And that's why I'm pleading with uh, the former presidents and our current presidents to start doing something about this. Start saying the right things to the people. Stop playing the political game. I plead to you to please do something. And then our spiritual leaders, I know many of them. I have a very good friend who's one of them. He's a bishop in El Paso, and they choose not to say anything because they don't want to get tied into the political game. But I think now it's to a point where really they need to start speaking out against these types of egregious, violent acts being committed against others. And of course, that's just me. And in the meantime, us as parents and grandparents, we really need to start having these discussions, not only with our siblings, our parents, our colleagues and all, but with our children as well and our grandchildren and tell them what's right and what's wrong. And of course, and try to be, set an example to them. I think that's very, very important. And telling them that these violent acts are not right. And really, even if you disagree, respect other people's opinions and political beliefs or religious beliefs and whatever. That's the right thing to do. And I'm just one person, but like I said, it's the elephant in the room, and I think it's time that people start taking this more serious. An act will be committed, and the next day people forget about it. We're just at a point now. We can't continue to be this way anymore. Um, But like I said, I've said my piece. I hope you'll listen. I hope that good things will happen in the future and these type of egregious acts will come to an end. But in the meantime, let's keep Charlie Kirk and his family in our prayers. I truly hope that his family will find happiness again in the very near future. And be at ease, knowing that Charlie Kirk is in a better place, and that's with God. And hopefully, he can continue along with God to oversee his family and get them to a better place. God bless you all, and I hope that all of you remain safe. And please start to do the right things. Thank you so much for your time. God bless.